7th grade math, geometry, chapter 8, section 2, classifying angles. We're going to look at the definition to some of our angles that we've been familiar with for quite a few years, but we're just going to review and then practice some identification. Our first definition is angle. An angle is formed by two rays with a common endpoint called a vertex, and the plural of vertex is vertices. Angles can be measured in degrees. Whenever we measure an angle, we have to have a label for it. And when we label an angle, we use three letters, with the vertex, that special word for corner or common endpoint, in the middle. So I'm going to make an angle, and you notice I have rays coming out of my vertex because this angle continues forever in both directions of my lines, my rays. So here's my angle. I'm going to label this point F. My vertex is at L, and here is point M. So to label this angle, I'll use my angle symbol, and I'll say it is MLF. The other way to label this angle would be angle FLM. You'll notice that I made sure that my vertex, my L, was in the middle of the three letters that I chose whenever I named it. So an angle is formed by two rays with a common vertex, endpoint of our angle. We have three kinds of angles we can talk about today. We have right angles, which usually are indicated with a box inside so that we know for sure that it is 90 degrees. Then we have our acute angles. Notice the numbers are less than 90. So 18 is less than 90, 45 is less than 90, and 33 is less than 90. These are all acute angles. Our next type of angle is an obtuse angle, and they are greater than 90 but less than 180. So we have 135 is more than 90 but less than 180. 93, not much more than 90, but it is more than 90 and less than 180. And 174 is more than 90 but less than 180. It has to be less than 180 because our straight angles measure exactly 180. That is our straight line that goes forever in both directions. The next type of lines that might be more new to us than our obtuse, acute, right, and straight angles are the terms complementary and supplementary angles. These are two angles that when I add them up make a special sum or total for me. If you look at this angle right here, this is a 90-degree angle. But I have two angles that made up a total of 90 degrees. I have 58 degrees and I have 32 degrees. And if I added those two angles together, I would get 90, which means they are complementary. A little saying I have to remember is, a husband and a wife complement each other. They are right for each other. So right angles are 90 degrees. So if I complement my spouse, I am right for them. And that, of course, is a 90-degree angle. Our other new term for angles is supplementary. And if you notice, we have a straight angle here. We have angle of 139 and we have an angle of 41. If I add my 139 degrees with my 41 degrees, I will get a total of 180 degrees. So when I have two angles whose measures total 180 degrees, I have supplementary angles. This is the end of Section 8-2, Classifying Angles.